Have you ever experienced something so painful and you found yourself, just because of habit and because you've decided that you're tough, that you're just going to stuff the pain down inside and bury it? If that's you, then this video is for you. This obviously is a very personal story, and usually I wouldn't have shared it, but I'm trying to take moments in my life that have taught me something and turn my pain into a purpose. So to set up some context for this video, I am going to share a little of the story of what happened, and then I'm going to follow it up with showing you exactly what I will be doing today to help myself get through that emotional disturbance that I'm having. Because if I don't take care of it now and I just stuff it down like I usually did in the past, then it will harbor, and I can already feel the physical pain in my body from the experience that we went through last night. And I don't want to keep reliving it and keep having these emotional breakdowns every time I think of it. So I'm going to take action and I'm going to show you, so that if you have some experience in your life that you are dealing with that has caused you sadness, anxiety, fear, depression, any type of emotion that you are feeling physical pain from, and you might not even be realizing that you're feeling the physical pain from the emotional experience, this can demonstrate to you how someone else immediately goes through a situation and then takes action on how to take control of your emotional and mental health so that you can carry on with life and not be scarred from the event. Okay, so for the story, if you know me personally or you've been watching some of my videos, you might know I do have a special needs daughter. She is 16. Because of her disability, I do have to bathe her. So to set the scene for the night, it's Valentine's Day. We had a really nice evening. We went to watch sunset like normal. We picked up some pizza because our daughter requested it. We had dinner and everything was going fine. And it was getting about time for me to give her her bath. And so I noticed my husband was having a lot of neck pain because he said he didn't sleep well because of the pillow. And I was like, you know what? I'll start running her bath and I'll put some Biofreeze on your neck and a heat wrap so that you can kind of loosen up, and I'll massage that on there for you. So I did that and I thought everything was okay. And so I left him with his heat wrap on his neck and went to give our daughter a bath. And as I'm in there, I hear something. And at first I'm like, did he fall asleep? Because I didn't know if it was like a snore or what it was. But I stopped what I was doing with my daughter and came around the corner. He was on the couch. So I came around the hallway corner and I see my husband laid over, and not like I've ever seen before. So usually, say, he's tired and he would fall asleep, usually he would kind of go into like a type of position, head down, kind of fell asleep. This wasn't like that. And so what I seen was he was just completely laid over in a strange position and just looked lifeless. And I stopped, obviously, like when I came around the corner so that my brain could comprehend what I was seeing. And I'm just kind of like, no. Like I just remember thinking, no, this can't be happening. And so I go over to him, kneel down to his level, and his eyes, like, they were not shut. They were just lifeless eyes. And so, of course, I'm at that point shaking him and yelling his name, and just shaking him and shaking him and shaking him and yelling his name. And what seemed like an eternity, I don't know. First of all, I don't exactly know like how long he had been down, but what seemed like an eternity, I finally got something, some life back in him, and was saying his name and was like, something's wrong, something's wrong. What happened? And he's not coherent. And so of course I'm like panicking, and something just says, go get him a drink, like get him, we had some body armor that he had in the cabinet. And so I run to the kitchen and I get that, and I take it back over, and I'm like still trying to get him awake enough. And I'm like, drink, drink. And he is just soaking wet, like profusely sweating. I've never seen this ever happen before, like anything like this. Like he's just dripping, 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 nonstop dripping. And so I knew, I obviously, I'm like, something is really happening wrong. I didn't know if he was having a heart attack or if it was a stroke. Like I just didn't know. And I managed to get him to take a sip and drink a little and get that down. And so I'm like, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Like, talk to me. What is going on? What is going on? Tell me what you're feeling. And he's just like, I'm hot. I'm just really hot. And I'm touching him, and he doesn't feel really hot. And so I run and I get a thermometer, and it's like 95 degrees, which he normally is at least 98. And I'm like, what? And then it's like 94 degrees. And I do it on me because I thought maybe it was broken, and I'm normal. And I'm like, then I'm really freaking out, right? Because then I'm like, what is happening? And I swipe him again, and it's like 86 degrees, which I've never in my life took someone's temperature and it be 86 degrees. Then I'm like, maybe I shook his blood sugar. I've got one of those glucose things. And so I check that, and at first it's 63. And so obviously I'm panicking. Like it's like his entire body shutting down. And so needless to say, we ended up going to the hospital, and the doctor said, you know, you all are very lucky he didn't go into cardiac arrest. Apparently this was some type of episode of his blood pressure and blood sugar just tanking out for whatever reason. It seemed out of the blue. This has never happened before. My husband's super healthy. And so we don't know. We don't know like how this actually happened or why. But thank God, you know, I got him back. Yeah, it was really scary. And so obviously, needless to say, my anxiety went through the roof. And during all that, I've got my special needs daughter in the bathtub still, and she can't bathe herself or get herself out safely. And so I had to still manage to manhandle all that while making sure I was keeping him with me and alert enough. It was pretty rough. And so I'm definitely, if you can't tell, I've got a lot of emotions. I don't want to live in fear, and I don't want to have a mental breakdown every single time I think about this. Me and my husband have been together 20 years, and we try to celebrate love every day, so we kind of think man-made holidays are silly, but we play along enough just because we do have a daughter, and it still crossed my mind, like, you know, I thought my husband died on Valentine's Day, and it was horrible. Okay, if I can get my shit together. Enough. Let me get my shit together. Okay. I did make some notes to help myself stay on track for this next part. So there's going to be 2 parts. The first one will be real simple, and this is something that I have been practicing anyway. And so I had actually seen Mel Robbins doing this, and I think she calls it the high five method or the heart high five or something like that. And anyway, it is anytime that your nervous system is starting to act up or you feel anxiety creeping in, you will stimulate your vagus nerve. And so you can do that by putting your hands here and pressing in just enough. And you'll repeat to yourself in your head out loud, I'm okay. I am safe. I am loved. And you can repeat those, back to back without a breath. Right now I'm worked up, and so I needed the breath in between. But anytime that you are feeling a charge, an emotional charge, you can bring the hands back, stimulate your vagus nerve, which will calm down your nervous system, and you can repeat, I'm okay, I'm safe, I'm loved. Or you can make up your own, whatever statements make you feel good. So that will be one of the easiest, quickest, calm yourself down. But I want to go a little bit further than that. And so I actually was looking into doing the EFT tapping, and that's what I'm going to do, because doing the tapping on your meridian points will actually release the energy, blockage, and allow it to process through your system, because you can get energy blocks. I will link some science behind that, or some articles or something in my description box if you're not familiar. So without further ado, we are going to work on this, and if you want to watch, cool. If you don't, just research that. Look at my description box, and I'll, like I said, put something in there for you. I am going to look down and look at my notes so that I don't get all over the place. Okay, so when you are doing the tapping, you are going to hone in on the pain point, whatever is most bothering you. Obviously, for me right now, it is seeing my husband unconscious and me thinking I lost him. So that is going to be my pain problem point. And then the next would be why you are feeling the way you're feeling. I probably feel XYZ because, and you'll kind of go through that while tapping on your meridian points. And then the acceptance and release is at the end. So you'll usually start off with your pain point, tapping right here, and you'll want to do a firm pressure, definitely on this one. Even though I am anxious and overwhelmed from finding my husband unconscious, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And you'll say this 3 times. Even though I am anxious and overwhelmed from finding my husband unconscious, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I am anxious and overwhelmed from finding my husband unconscious, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And then you'll go into the next meridian points. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. The fear I felt from seeing him like that. I probably felt that way because I was scared to lose him. I was scared I'd be alone. I was scared. I was scared. Our love story would end. I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. Even though I have this fear, I'm releasing it today. It no longer has a need in my life. I'm releasing it at a cellular level. I'm afraid. Courage is not lack of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. If there's anything my life has taught me, it is that I am tough and I can take anything that life throws at me. It may not always be easy, but I can do it. I forgive myself for having these thoughts because the truth is I create my own reality. I get to feel however I want. So I'm clearing all my negative thoughts and beliefs and fear beliefs at a cellular level. I appreciate myself for trying to keep me safe in the past, but I am done. I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself for all the times I've lived in fear. I'm letting it go today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my story. And I just hope that even if one person sees this video and it can help you to take action and control over your own emotional and mental state and improve your life, then sharing my personal vulnerable story was worth it. So thank you for watching.